I don't know if this is a collective message or individual. I still don't understand that always. But there was this feeling that came through, and you've heard me talk about this many a times, where it's like the sun in me, the masculine in me, the strong force, the doing, the action part of me has been dominant in recent years because I've had to be my own protector, my own doer, my own everything, because I'm completely solo. So no support, no help, no assistance. And so it hasn't, no protection. So I haven't had that luxury of being in my feminine, where I feel best, where I can relax and I can breathe and I can let go. And we've talked about it where it's like because I've had to cultivate that side of me, my masculine side of me, out of necessity, not out of desire, it has become like, I was going to say habitual, but I don't even know the right word because it's like automatic, but it's not comfortable. And I know it's because it's not authentically me, but it's, again, out of necessity. And so I've said many a times, like, I need a strong masculine. Like, the person I'll end up with needs to be very, like his, in other words, I certainly don't want some macho asshole. I don't mean that. People always take these terms so funny. They just showed me a funny image that I was like, oh God. A very, very masculine man normally is able to be very soft and tender because he's not in his ego. He's not worried about others or what they think. He's able to do all, Anyway, the point is, they were showing like, I am going to need somebody whose inner masculine is so much stronger than mine, right? So that if I ever get in those modes and he's around, it allows me to soften all the way back down into my feminine, right? Like, I don't have to be in the wrong role for me because that role is filled by him. And I can feel it. And it's so much stronger than my inner masculine that it's like my inner masculine can relax. And I can just be me. And which is, I prefer authentically to be in my feminine. And so, there was this, it was like a scene and feeling all came through where there was this man who came in, but he didn't come in. He came in just balanced is what I think it was. In other words, I couldn't necessarily get a read on it, but for some reason I got myself ruffled or something and I'd gotten to my masculine. Well, then his masculine got bigger. And then I was confused by it. So my masculine acted up and then his masculine got even bigger. And I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I just melted into him because it was like, oh my God, I'm finally safe. Oh my God, I finally can relax. Oh my God, you actually can handle the strength of my masculine. It didn't scare this masculine. It didn't intimidate. It didn't, nothing. Like, it wasn't fazed by the strength of my masculine at all. Like, this masculine was so beautiful, so massive, so capable, so aware, so not in his ego, that he was very competent, capable, beyond competent, beyond capable to handle, in comparison, my little masculine, which normally, as we've talked about many a times, my inner masculine is stronger than most males I've encountered. So it's rare that I can find such a beautiful masculine anymore. And so this energy was such a delight and it was so good. So that had been coming through a few times, and that was a recent imagery, a few of the scenes I was sharing with you. And then another one had just come through where it seemed like a familiar energy, right? It seemed like a familiar, they didn't show me faces per se, but it was familiar. But this person had grown, evolved, changed, matured to the point where I almost fell over. I was like, holy shit, because I could feel how beautiful, like he was truly, authentically him. His ego had dropped. He was in his masculine. And I could go into my feminine, and God, it feels so good. It's almost like when you know what feels best for you and you're able to be, so if you want to take it just the sun and the moon, if you're feminine, you're in your moon, and that's where you feel relaxed, you feel best. And you get in the presence of the sun, you just naturally are the moon, right? It's just what it is. You get illuminated by the sun. You just feel amazing. But if you're with another moon energy, it's fucking frigid and cold, and somebody has to warm this sucker up, right? And so roles can get reversed and things can be tough. But it just feels like you can feel that it feels right. And so with that feeling coming through it, it did have me thinking about some past relationships and how intellectually I might not be able to have always understood some of the dynamics. But I do recall, and not that they don't need to be addressed or whatever, but it was like that wasn't even necessarily what I was being shown and how it felt. It was more like, remember when you were a so-and-so and how you were able to be in your feminine naturally. You didn't have to push or force or effort or try or demand that none of it. It was like you didn't have to be in your masculine at all. You really naturally could just be in your feminine. It just felt so good, right? Where others, it felt like you had a mommy, or you still had to have masculine in you too, or you still had, you were never able to be just your raw, true, authentic self. And when you look at your relationships like that, it's like, God, it's amazing how in the right dynamics with the right opposing energy, the two can really shine as their beautiful individual selves. The moon is spectacular as the moon, and the sun is spectacular as the sun. And they both are, magnificent in their own right, but together, beyond. It's interesting. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.